The holy city of Hebron, second only to Jerusalem in sanctity. At the heart of Hebron is the cave of Machpelah, the final resting place of Abraham and Sarah, Yitzchak and Rivka, Yaakov and Leah. These are the 4,000-year-old roots of our nation. According to tradition, the cave of Machpelah in Hebron is the gateway to the Garden of Eden. 7:30 in the morning, school vans are picking up Hebron Talmud Torah students from all over Hebron and Kiryat Arba. Where are they bringing them? To the cave of Machpelah. Their teachers, Rabbi Dani Hizmi and Rabbi Meir Menachem, are waiting for them in the parking lot. As they ascend the steps to the tombs of the patriarchs and matriarchs, the children review the weekly Torah reading by heart. Since the destruction of the Second Temple 2 millennia ago, Jews had been barred from entering the cave of Machpelah. Romans, Byzantines, Crusaders, and Muslims who ruled this region kept all Jews from visiting the graves of their ancestors. It was only in 1967, following the Six-Day War, that the cave of Machpelah was liberated and declared open to Jews once again. The Talmud Torah children recite Shema Yisrael during morning prayers at the gateway to Eden, the cave of Machpelah, so close to God. 35 children attend the Talmud Torah. Parents pay tuition fees if they can afford to do so, but scholarships are available for those who cannot. The children study with authentic love and dedication. Every moment is used for review. The children know entire books of the Bible by heart. Amazing? Unbelievable? Come to Hebron and test them. They study all the time, all year round, with no vacations except Yom Kippur and Tisha B'Av. At the end of each service at the cave of Machpelah, alongside the graves of Abraham and Sarah, the children recite prayers for the health of their loved ones, for the success of the Jewish people, for the well-being and good fortune of the Talmud Torah's supporters, and for the soldiers in Israel's armed forces.
I bring tourists to Hebron. We go to Beit Hadassah, and up on the bridge, they hear this chanting. And we go downstairs, and I can't get to the museum, because they all run to this door, and they look inside, and they see these children chanting Torah verses. And they stand there, and they can't move. It's so unbelievably uplifting. More than anything I can say, that's what those children show. It's amazing. You know, Torah is so important, and our sages teach us that nothing is more important than the Torah of children. And to have these kids learning here in Hebron and saying those Torah verses and learning them, it's probably one of the most important things that can be done in the city today.
The boys study, review, and analyze the material they study, and soon commit all 5 books of the Torah to memory. The Talmud Torah is now in its 3rd year, and its students are becoming flourishing Torah scholars. They're also educated towards ethical behavior and a love of the land of Israel. The educational methods applied at the Hebron Talmud Torah impart a special recognition of the significance of Hebron and of the true meaning of the land of Israel, the Torah of Israel, and the God of Israel. This is what gives our community its strength. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings thou hast founded strength. General studies, Hebrew, mathematics, geography, and history are solidly anchored in and linked with the weekly Torah reading and whatever book of the Bible the children happen to be studying at the time. The Hebron Talmud Torah applies the educational methods developed by the late Jerusalem Rabbi Shlomo Zilberman based on the Shulchan Aruch. The children review their study material constantly at every available moment. They understand the text thoroughly and learn it all by heart. By the time they reach bar mitzvah age and graduate the Talmud Torah, they will know the entire Bible and 3 orders of Mishnah by heart. Amazing? Unbelievable? Come to Hebron and test them. Pictures of leading contemporary Torah mentors hang on the classroom wall. Students are familiar with each of these personalities. The Hebron Talmud Torah has been acclaimed by rabbis of the Lithuanian and Sephardic schools of thought, Hasidic rebbes, great contemporary Torah scholars, and Jewish leaders astounded by the devotion, capabilities, and knowledge of Hebron's children. former Sephardic Chief Rabbis Mordechai Eliyahu and Ovadia Yosef, former Ashkenazi Chief Rabbi Avraham Shapira, Rabbi Shalom Eliashiv, the Mojitzer Rebbe, the Rebbe of Erloi, the Rosh Yeshiva of Ponevezh, renowned Kabbalist Rabbi Yitzchak Kaduri, and many other esteemed Torah personalities have given the Hebron Talmud Torah their blessing. But don't think that all this scholarship is suppressing their youthful energies. They can handle a soccer ball just as skillfully as any of their peers, even though their playing field at Beit Hadassah in Hebron is constantly exposed to Arab enemy gunfire.
The only way of education I ever saw, it gives the inside, makes them part of the Torah. The only way I ever saw is the Zilberman way. Unbelievable.
The teachers who succeed in instilling in the students love of Torah, love of knowledge of Torah, love of learning, and also to educate them to proper conduct. And as Jews, as the Torah teaches us, not only to have a lot of knowledge, but also, which they have, but also to conduct themselves and act in a proper way with their affairs.
It's a beautiful winter day on the lawn near the cave of Machpelah. Hebron residents and Talmud Torah students gather to welcome French Chief Rabbi Joseph Sitruk to Hebron and the cave of Machpelah. Meanwhile, the students are using their waiting time for study and review. Rabbi Sitruk extends his warm and heartfelt blessings to Talmud Torah students and all Hebron residents. He asks the students to recite from the book of Joshua by heart, and of course they do so, complete with traditional cantillation.
As a parent that has two kids learning in the Talmud Torah, I see how two young Talmidei Chachamim grow in my house that know the whole Torah by heart and understand everything. And the most important thing, they love to learn Torah. And as a leader in the community of Hebron, I see the effect on what's going in Hebron.
What do you think Talmud Torah students are learning in music class? What do they sing? Blessed art thou, Lord our God, who has kept us alive, has preserved us, and who has enabled us to reach this occasion.